Hello and welcome to your reading. This is the Awakened Jenn. Welcome to your daily divine forecast for Tuesday, July 15th on the Spiritual View. If you are new, welcome. If not, welcome back. Today's energy feels like relief, pure sacred relief, like a deep exhale after holding your breath for far too long. You may even feel your body relaxing in ways that it hasn't in a long time. The message coming through is I can breathe again. We're no longer in survival mode. We've crossed a massive energetic threshold, and the lightness that you're feeling, that's not random. That's the evidence. Today's angel numbers are 1155 and 122. 1155 signals a divinely orchestrated change that puts you back in alignment with your soul's truth. And 122 reminds us to trust the path that is unfolding, even if we can't see all of the steps yet. Stay rooted in faith because balance and purpose are coming back online. So, now before we get too far into this, I want us to take 3 deep breaths together and do the invocation to call in our spirit team. And then we'll break down the deeper guidance coming through after that. So, if you will close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths with me, breathe in. That's 1. Breathe in. That's 2. Breathe in. That's 3. I now call in the council of the awakened flame, a divine collective of angels, archangels, ascended masters, our higher selves, guardian angels, star family, galactic light beings, to please enter this present space and time. I call upon Archangel Michael to place a bubble of protection around us. Only beings of the highest vibration of pure love and light may enter in. I open myself now as a clear surrender channel. May the messages that come through serve the highest good of all, activating healing, alignment, and awakening for every soul who receives them. All right, so for today's messages, we are using the Healing the Inner Child Oracle, Wild Reflections Tarot, and the Sisterhood of Seers. And so I chose the Healing the Inner Child Oracle because I feel like that we've done a lot of inner child work just this year. And so I mentioned this on the last Thursday Night Live that I've really been feeling like the inner child, of the clients that I've been working with, and even just the people around me, I can feel their inner child's in there just like screaming, wanting to come out, or they're ready to come out. And most of them are actually, they're out, and the ones that are out right now, they're angry. Like they are just like, because they've been trapped behind all of these walls and guards for so long. And it was like the way to get them out actually was, um, it felt really rough. And that was like all of the karmic clearing that we were going through. So they were protected behind all of these walls, but it's like, in order to get them out, it felt painful to them. They didn't know that like what we were doing was actually trying to help them. And so now then they're out on the other side, and they got all of this anger and rage that was coming out because they're trying to figure out what just happened. Who, like, they're re-getting their just their sorts, about just even where they're at. They're trying to figure out, where am I at? What's happening? Like, because they've been just trapped for so long. And so the card that I pulled with the Healing the Inner Child Oracle, we have integration. And so as we step into this new cycle, our inner child is no longer hiding. They're not buried under the shame or hiding in fear. They're alive, awake, and ready to play again. This card reminds us that we're not just healing, we're integrating. Our child self is becoming part of our whole self. So I want to read what it actually says in here about this. So, another way to describe the inner child is to say that it is a part of you. We have many parts. Some we are aware of, and others we have hidden away. The journey to feeling whole is the reclaiming of many inner parts, seeing each one and accepting it, while retaining our authority as the adult. These young inner parts are often afraid and need our guidance. They are frozen in time. In the moment of trauma, they are frozen in the time in the moment that the trauma took place. Once they trust that it's safe to be seen and heard, they become a resource and an ally. A new self emerges once we have integrated our exiled parts, a self that is resilient, creative, vital, and compassionate. In his book Homecoming: Reclaiming and Championing Your Inner Child, John Bradshaw describes, as you allow your child to become an integral part of your life, dialoguing with him, listening to him, setting boundaries for her, letting her know that you will never leave her, a new power and creativity begin to emerge. Just as in your family lineage, in which each person belongs no matter what, in your internal system, no part can be excluded without consequence. It is time now to integrate an inner part, weave back together what was separated. And so, I mean, we're allowing the inner child in us to be reintegrated back into our lives. And so it's like we've taken the joy out, the wonder out, the awe of life out, because that child got so wounded that it didn't feel safe to be out and to be seen. And so we got stuck into these, more the responsible, roles, the protective roles, the provider roles, the ones that kind of suck the joy right out of our lives. And now we're able to have that space to have the joy brought back, that inner joy brought back, the inner light brought back. And it's like it's necessary for this part to be seen again, because that's where like the fulfillment of life really comes from, is like from just that inner joy, that inner peace from your inner child that we, like I said, a lot of times we have tucked it so far away that we can't even connect with it anymore. And now we're reintegrating that part into our life because we've done so much of the trauma work and the healing work, that now then this part of us actually feels safe enough to be seen again. So I pulled the rest of the spread with the Wild Reflections Tarot. I've already shown the cards. Okay. Um, and so, why is this happening right now? And we got the Judgment card. So, this healing didn't happen overnight. It is because you've done the work. This Judgment card is a soul reckoning. The karma has been cleared, the debt has been paid. But it's more than personal, it's generational. You broke patterns that have lived in your lineage for lifetimes. This is the reward for a job well done. And so, I mean, this is, it's the reckoning and the reward. When I see this, it's like there's a reckoning happening for those that didn't do the work, but there's a reward coming for those that did. And so, this is where, just everything that you've done to this point is being called into, order. And so, it's like, this is like a life review kind of card here. So you're kind of looking at everything that you've been through. And again, as long as you did the work, now then the reward is coming from it. And the next card is kind of telling us what the reward of this is. And it is also our best move forward, which is the King of Swords. Clarity is now your power. The King of Swords says the truth will set you free. But this truth isn't just intellectual clarity, it's earned wisdom. You've transmuted wounds into wisdom. And that sword in your hand, that's discernment, that's spiritual authority. And so, again, like what you earn from this isn't just, it isn't just the renewed joy. You've earned the wisdom. You've turned the lessons into wisdom. You've turned your pain into your power, into your purpose. And that's the piece that has set you free the most, is seeing the truth of things. Instead of seeing things the way that you had wanted it to be, you're seeing it for how it really is. And you're making the appropriate decisions based off of what it really is. You're making your decisions now based off of truth, not off of distortion, not off of fear, not off of trauma, not off of just anything that wasn't real. Okay, our block to this, though, is the Two of Cups. And I actually pulled a clarifier on this and I got the Eight of Cups to go with it. And so this is a big one, maybe the biggest. We're learning how to let go of soulmates who have completed their purpose. Not every soulmate is a forever person. Some were here just to wake us up, to teach us, to grow us. And that's sacred, even if it's not eternal. The Two of Cups shows us the bond, and the Eight of Cups shows the release. And so we are looking at all of our relationships and our soul connections in a different way. Instead of seeing it as just like, oh, it's the ultimate, like we're soulmates. So that means we're supposed to be together forever. We're seeing them as, no, we had a soul purpose with each other. Yes. There's a soul contract between us. Yes. And you're understanding what was the contract. And once you've understood what the contract was and you've worked through that lesson, now you're putting them in, you're putting them in appropriately, like you're organizing them appropriately in your life. And so you've got, some soulmates that they are life partners, and a lot of times those are like your best friends. They're not always like a romantic thing. A lot of times when we think about soulmates, we're thinking about romance. I mean, you can even have animals as part of your soulmates. But then we also have, catalyst soulmates, and we have karmic soulmates, and just there's all these different types of soulmates that we have. And once we've learned the lesson from that soulmate, the important part is to release what is no longer serving you. So it's not taking you off your path, so that you can stay on your path. So anything that's causing you to have to, pull back and it's dragging you off your path, that's the thing that you got to let go of, even if it feels like it's a soul bonded connection. Because you can have full soul bonded connections that are not meant to be with you lifelong. They are meant to be with you for specific moments, for specific purposes, for specific seasons. And so when you can get really good, and that's the wisdom that you've gained with this, from all of the karma that you've cleared, once you can get really good at recognizing what type of soulmate, what type of soul contract, you're not going to be so attached to having to have them, stay in a specific role, forever. You're able to like release the control of that part and let it be just whatever it needs to be for this moment and this time. Because even like sometimes you might release them because they've served their purpose for now, but there may be a purpose where they come back later. But see, we're just releasing because we're in the moment now, and in this moment now, they've served their purpose. And so there's no reason to still continue to hold on to that. All right. So the last card I pulled with the Seers, the Sisters of the Seers Oracle. And we've got the Sacred Courage card. And so this card, it gave me chills. You didn't get here by accident. You got here by your own sacred courage, because you did what most people wouldn't, because you said yes to the path, even when it required walking through the fire. And now Spirit says you have everything you need to leap, to lead, and to love again, to live out this wildly luminous life that you've called in. And so, I mean, the courage was yours. And the courageous thing you did was the walking away, was the releasing these old connections, even when they meant something really important to you, because you knew that there was something better. You knew this was holding you back to somewhere that you didn't want to be. And that your only option out of the fire was to let go. Let go. Let them go on their path and you go on yours. To not force other people to be on the path with you. Like just allowing it to be just what it needs to be for this moment, for this season, for this reason. So you had a lot of courage that was your own. And that's what I'm getting is like, you've been prepared. This completely prepared you for everywhere, to hold and sustain what is coming next for you. You were not the version of the person who could hold it yet, but now you are. And now you have everything that you need to be able to step forward into this next phase without whatever that person or relationship was that you thought you needed to keep moving forward. So it's like we're letting go of the attachments for sure. And we're putting more faith into just our own purpose, what's meant for us. We're not like trying to force everybody to be with us. Is we're putting more focus on us, and I think that that's part of what the inner child healing has done for us. It's seeing how important we still are too. Our desires, our wants, our needs are still important too, and so when we were staying in connections where we had to minimize all of that part of ourselves because it wasn't welcome in that connection, it didn't help, like it just caused conflict in that connection. Now then, we're safe enough to be us again, and it gets to be our life again and not just us trying to fit ourselves into someone else's reality. We're taking our own realities back again. All right, so I'm going to close this out with this question. What if the ease you're starting to feel is not the calm before another storm, but the peace that comes after you finally made it through to the other side? What if you really are free? What if your breath, your body, your softness isn't something to fear, but it's something that you can trust again? So, final questions for reflection. What does relief feel like in your body today? Can you feel it? And what would it mean to believe you finally made it to the other side? If you've enjoyed this message, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single message that comes through. The Spiritual View is a collective of spiritually gifted women, and we use a range of modalities to bring messages of guidance for the collective, and we have a lot going on this channel. We have a thriving community that we are growing by each day, and we invite you to be a part of all the things that we have. So we have daily videos where we have a different reader each day of the week, and then we bring the whole group together on Thursdays for our Thursday Night Live, where we have a collective conversation about the current astrology, and then we pull cards for the viewers. And then we have other things like our moon ceremonies. We have lots of different things that we have going on. So hit the bell. You'll be notified every time a new message comes out. And if you are looking for deeper personalized clarity, I do offer private sessions, and you can find that information down in the description box below. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and that you enjoy just this moment of setting your inner child free. Let them have fun again. Let them be the center of attention for a while. So, all right. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.